Week 2 of Mindset Mayhem is done. Wednesday, as I record this, probably the night that it goes out.
Mindset Meta, you're in the car with me again.
And second week, I mean, if anything, that first week just motivated me more to just embarrass Tom, because that deficit is scary. Is that a good word for it? So, second week just made me, like I say, motivated to kick on, do better, because I knew I was leaving a lot on the table anyway. So, just wanted to max it out, and I did. I did about 3 or 4 6 a.m. wake-ups. Took it fairly easy on the weekends just because I knew I'd put that work in, and that's something I'll probably talk about later about what I'm going to do next week. But roughly evening out to 9 points a day again, and I actually let myself go last Tuesday after reacting to Tom's awful score. I was just like, I was in 2 minds. I was like, do I maybe take a day off, let him catch up, let the competition build, or do I just embarrass him like I said? And I did a bit of both, because that Tuesday could do with a rest day just from early wake-ups and a bit of a mental fatigue. So I thought, treat myself to an evening of not exercising, have a little bit of recovery, de-stress the mental space, and get on with it. So yeah, that's how I started my week 2, and then I smashed it out with it. Perfect days for about 3 or 4, just finished the week strong.
So, first of all, summary of the week just gone. Played some football, did some other stuff, went to the gym, read my book every day. I also meditated every day, and I went to Manchester at the weekend, which involved a bit of drinking. Not too much, baby girl, just a little bit. So, obviously incurred some fines, not fines pretty much, points deducted from the overall scores for the week. And of course, I did not wake up at 6 a.m. once again, whereas my good friend and opponent, Mr. Ryan Painter, obviously did.
So now I'm about to react to this week's leaderboards, which will probably be funny again. Tom's week 2 is 57. So, taking into account last week's 12-point deficit, fucking hell, sorry, camera's off all over, but taking into account Tom's last week's 12-point deficit, he has now got a 6-point deficit this week, making that a nice and round 18. Couldn't resist the alcohol for one day while he was in Manchester for some reason. Appears to be doing everything else pretty much. It's kind of standard really. Everything is pretty much standard, and it's just disappointing. Like, he's not really trying with the 6 a.m s, and he says this thing about, oh, I prioritise sleep and stuff, and it's like, I think we both know the benefits of sleep. You just go to bed earlier. That's how it works, isn't it? But after this week, 18 points clear. 18 points. I'm trying to think, what can we do to help this guy? And this punishment has got to be somewhat mad, because what the hell has this guy been doing? Like, it's a month of mental discipline. Show me some discipline, man.
So, reaction to that, how do I feel? Well, I'll be honest, I was expecting it. I've fallen a little bit further behind because, like I said, obvious reasons. I know I haven't been waking up at 6 a.m. Ryan has. I've missed out on those points again, but, you know, if you compare the difference in points from the first week that I was behind to the second week that I'm behind, I would say, you know, judging it on a week-to-week basis, I am actually doing much better. Doesn't mean I'm doing great, doesn't mean I'm doing bad. Better is better, and that is meta. Ooh.
So yeah, week 3 already started off strong. I am planning for a perfect week, and I plan to keep at my word, because you lot deserve somebody who's actually committed to this thing. And yeah, I don't know how beneficial it will be to be like, hey, Ryan's done a perfect week, but it's something in my mind, and you get these temptations through these weeks and stuff where, so they say like Tom, oh, I'll have a drink just because I'm out, and it's just like, well, you can refrain from having a drink. That's the whole point of this challenge, you're having a month off. And I also wanted to address that some dodgy stuff that he said in last week's vid, but mainly what he said in his week 2 vlog about, I'm counting football games as an exercise point when we play football, but I'm a keeper, I don't move as much as him, which is fair enough, maybe it's true, but what good is running around like a headless chicken for exercise? I can't say that, man. I did take offence to that. Don't know why you're trying to prove a point. If you want to have a race, lad, just ask. But, bit of a whitewash this, and if he doesn't do 6 AM wake up, this thing, then it's like, what's the point? Anyway, I can ramble, I can moan.
Yeah, so how am I going to use that to plan my week ahead? How am I going to bounce back? Well, my target for this week going forward, I may have said this last time and obviously I didn't follow through on it, but I need to wake up at 6 AM once at least. And I think what I'm going to do is wake up at 6 and just go to the gym. Get that out of the way, get that exercise point, get that 6 AM point, and then, you know, got the rest of the evening to do whatever. That's it really. So apart from that, obviously it would be good as well if I don't get myself into a situation where I may be tempted to have a drink, which will obviously incur a point fine, and yeah, so on and so forth. So I'm behind, more so than I was after the first week. Key thing to take from this. Am I upset about it? No. Am I apprehensive as we still haven't decided a punishment? Yes. However, I am going to propose an idea. So Ryan, when you're watching this, when you're editing this, I'm thinking, what if on the last week, week 4, we just call it square, start again from scratch, 0-0, because realistically, you're not going to drop enough points for me to make up all the difference for it to even be a competition. So essentially that's competition aspect is all but gone for obvious reasons. So maybe if we did that and started from scratch on that last week, might be a bit more exciting, might give me a bit more of a push to actually do the shit that I haven't been doing to get the points. But it's all a learning experience anyway, and I'm not bitter about it.
This guy just needs a punishment now, and he could take it now, because there's no way I'm letting up. And it's just like, yeah, I rest my case. Tom, do better, mate. It's 1 month of your year, a 12th. You can't even commit to it. Think about that. Habits. These are all little habits. This is supposed to be a habit building exercise. Gone to pot.
Make sure you keep watching the weekly vlogs. Make sure you keep watching the stories, taking part in them, and yeah, watch this space, because if we do decide to go clean on that last week, I think it'll be a lot more interesting. That's all I've got to say. Nice one.